What's up, guys? So I just cruised up the street to my new kind of temporary office space. It's at this hotel called Bali Bosque, and wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about how I got such a dope space to work in here. Like, look at this freaking background, and look at this background. Pretty much everywhere you look, it's just beautiful. These are all buildings shipped in from Bali and built here on site in the jungle of Costa Rica. And yeah, I just want to tell you a little bit about how I ended up at this spot here. Alright, so how did I end up here? So I, if you don't know by now, live in Costa Rica. I live in a very small town in the jungle, and I have a very small house as well. I live with my girlfriend and her son, and we don't have a lot of space in our house. And in order for me to work and get work done, I've found that I need to be outside of my space. I do work at home sometimes. I have a little desk there. It's pretty sad, but I get distracted a lot, and I find that if I leave the house and I go somewhere else to work, I get twice as much done. So I was renting out a space at a co-working workspace in my town, which surprisingly there is one in such a small little town in Costa Rica. I wasn't able to really shoot videos in there. I could just basically edit, and I didn't feel comfortable, being able to shoot in there. So I needed a space where I could shoot as well as edit. And I just got back into the country from the United States after being gone for a couple months, and I didn't have a space lined up. And so I was thinking about places around me that might allow me to work in their space for a bit. And I was like, oh, there's a ton of hotels around me. I may as well ask some of the hotels. It's down season right now. It's rainy season in Costa Rica, so there's a lot less people, a lot less tourists here. And I figured that they might want some extra cash for, me using their space to work in for a couple months until I figure out where I want to be. So I decided to hit this place up because, one, I've been here before on a shoot. I shot an online course here for a woman and saw how beautiful of a place it was. And two, I knew that they had good internet, because these guys here are actually who set up the fiber optic connection in our whole street and offered it to us. So that's why we have fiber optic. And for being in such a small little place in Costa Rica, there's lots of flies here. It's kind of crazy that we have fiber, and it's thanks to these guys here that set it all up. It's not necessarily the most traditional workspace. I understand it's pretty much all outdoors, in the jungle, and it can be kind of hot, but up here it's up a little bit higher up in the mountains, so it's a little bit cooler here. There's a nice breeze, and you have to deal with the elements a little bit. But for me, the reason why I moved down here really was because the nature was so amazing. And so I actually get a lot more inspired if I'm working outdoors and it just kind of keeps me going. And obviously it's better for shooting as well. The last place I was working at, the co-working space, it was just a white room. It was air conditioned, which was nice, but I realized that I didn't really like being in an air conditioned room all day every day, and I wasn't very inspired by just the blank white walls around me. So I think it's important that you find a space outside of your house to work, and whatever works best for you. Maybe the place with the air conditioning and the clean, sterile place is a better environment for you, but I feel like for us creators, having more of a unique space to work in just keeps us creatively inspired. And though there might be some drawbacks like the heat or flies flying around, I feel like it's a worthwhile trade-off to be able to have this incredible view of the jungle and be surrounded by nature. It just keeps me inspired to create more. So think outside the box a little bit with where you want to find your workspace to be, whether you're doing YouTube videos as well, or you're just a freelance filmmaker and you need some place to edit. Don't think of just office spaces, think of other spots like this. I hadn't even considered this before, but it just kind of popped into my head because I remember how much of a beautiful place it was. And I didn't think at first it would work out for me to, I didn't think they would be open for me to come here and work, but I figured why the hell not just ask, it doesn't hurt to ask. And I came up here and they were totally down. They don't have a lot of clients right now, and they needed some new content for their website. So this is obviously a great opportunity if you're looking for spaces to trade for content for them. A lot of people need new content and they don't even realize that their content needs to be updated. So check out people's websites. If you have some cool hotels nearby you, or you live by the beach and there's like a really cool beach hotel, it doesn't hurt to go and just ask them if they have an extra space that you can work in, a few days out of the week in exchange for creating content for them. It could be a partial exchange or it could be full. These guys were totally down with just accepting that I give them new photos for their website, a new little promo video. So give it a shot. Just go out and ask some places around you. I think it's important to find a place close to you. If it's too far and it takes too long to get there and it's too much of a hassle, you're probably not going to end up going there and working as much. And it needs to be somewhere that's convenient for you. But it's worthwhile checking out some different places that aren't like your traditional office space, because who knows, you might end up in an amazing Balinese home in the jungle and just have the most amazing view while you're working. That also reminds me that this applies to finding clients just in general. So if you are a freelancer like myself, there's down periods where, like this week I just got back and I was afraid that I wasn't going to be able to find clients right away. I realized that clients aren't just going to come to me all the time. Like sometimes they do, and fortunately my situation here, there's a lot of word of mouth. I'm in a small community and I get hit up a lot for videos, but I've been gone for a little while, so getting back I need to put out some ads on Facebook and I need to actually approach people. So just like I approached these guys asking if I can work here, I went out and I approached other hotels asking if they need content, real estate agents asking if they need shots of their land they're selling. As well, today I got a gig shooting a farmer's market in town that's just getting going again after COVID being closed, and they want regular content every week, highlighting different of their vendors and telling the stories of their vendors, which will be a lot of fun. But I wouldn't find these if I wasn't going out there, giving out cards all the time, letting people know that I can create content for them, and telling them the value that that content is going to provide for their business. Not only am I providing a service, but I'm making their business better. So these are all things that were really hard for me to do in the past. And if you saw my last video, I've kind of battled with insecurities in the past and confidence, and it was hard for me to approach people to find new clients, and thus I wasn't getting very many gigs. So just put it out there what you're doing. Tell them that you're making videos, tell them that you're making photos, put out content on a regular basis. If you don't have clients, do this. Make a YouTube video. Make just a fun video and post it on your Facebook. If people see that you're putting out content on a weekly basis or even a daily basis, they're gonna know what you do. And when they know that they need a video made or a friend needs a video made, they're gonna think of you because they just saw your video posted on Facebook or Instagram, and they know that you're actively creating and that you're passionate about what you do. On another note, I just got this new Feel World monitor for my camera, and it's really changed the way that I shoot. It allows me to put in LUTs that I can shoot in S-Log, and I can see right real time what it's going to look like, the final product. So I can expose perfectly. I can actually see what it's going to look like afterwards, which just makes it more enjoyable to shoot. And this isn't sponsored by Feel World at all, but I just want to let you guys know it's made a huge difference in my production. And like right now, being able to see exactly what I'm doing. I have a flip screen on my camera, but it doesn't really do it justice. I can barely see it. It's tiny. Can't really see if it's in focus perfectly. It's just really nice to have this like whole monitor in front of me. Anyway, if you go in my description, it has the monitor that I got, and it is an affiliate link, so you know, buy it through that and I'll get a little kickback. Help me out. One last thing, I just put out a Skillshare course all about how to become a freelance photographer, filmmaker, and travel the world. It's on Skillshare, and I have a link in the description as well for a free month of Skillshare, so you can actually take this course absolutely free, as well as have access to all of the other thousands of courses that they have on Skillshare for an entire month. So if you're interested in freelancing and learning more about that and how to take that skill to anywhere in the world, check out that course. Like I said, it's totally free, and they're just starting to weed whack right now, so it's a good sign that this video is over. See you next time.